Hey guys, Beast Force here, and welcome back to my Phineas and Ferb breakdown. As I'm going to do the breakdown of the movie Candace Against the Universe, and afterwards we got the last day of summer, Phineas and Ferb musical clips, the countdown, the four post-summer episodes, Alcatraz, and At Your Age. On April the 11th, 2019, Disney announced that Disney Plus will be released around November, with all the slots that we've seen that has been in the streaming service and still to this day, as everyone still watches it. There have been many releases on that day, including one of them, Candace Against the Universe, even though the show ended in June 2015. And at that time, Milo Murphy's Law Season 2 was still airing at the time, before it came to an end on May the 18th, 2019, pulling more focus around Candace Against the Universe of that movie. Also, Disney approached the creators to ask them to develop a new Phineas and Ferb film for service, as they wanted the service to have projects that would appeal to kids and adults, with the multi-generation appeal, with 40% of the audience being adults. They were unsure about making this film, but they realized they kind of missed Phineas and Ferb and started thinking the fun premise to appeal everyone, even those that weren't familiar with the show. And everything was developing around with animation was in progress, promotion, interviews, and all of that stuff coming to fruition when the movie is starting to produce. Until March 2020, while the pandemic was spreading all around the world, forcing a lot of people to stay home. And that allowed a lot of people to stay home with the anime with other shows, including Dan Provamar, who's trying to fix all of it with his own.
Tried a couple of poses. This pose, I think this is going to work best. Small in this, make them a little bit big, cleaner on each level. And then making a little palette that I can just dip into eyes. The outline of any part of him that is skin, I think his nose is going to come up. Coloration. And when you see this in the movie, you'll be able to say, hey, I watched.
While many of them well fixed, while some of them still have outlines that are not finished, which can be recognized by many people. They also did a lot behind the scenes of Candace Against the Universe.
Exciting adventure that involves Phineas and Ferb's sister Candace.
Not me, okay? Every day I get beaten down by the universe.
I was much younger, and so I had a higher pitched voice. I always go back to,
Hey Phineas, what you do?
Adventure in space.
I put 2 behind the scenes of Candace Against the Universe, which I'll put in link down below, which you can find. After the movie came out, everyone was talking about it, with the flaws, the animation being hot and cold at time, the song being amazing, and a lot of points to enjoy. And it's been nearly 6 years since the movie came out. As time passes, is it relevant anymore? Everyone's talking about fan arts, new season 6, the revival, the original Rob memes, Dan Povermeyer's TikTok and whatever, but it doesn't get as relevancy compared to the second dimension, because the reason why is because of the memes, the culture, when it came out in 2011, which is the difference. Well, this came out during the streaming servers of Disney Plus, which is the reason why it's not compared to the second dimension, even though the second dimension has better aesthetics and everything on the story compared to it. And it's confirmed it takes place during season 4, as you get to see Phineas's stripe look different, the flashback when we get to Candace's beautiful day and whatever. In this breakdown, I'm going to shine a light in this movie to show you what evidence of the movie has done very well. There will be criticism of some of the animation parts, a lot of scenes that will be done very well, the songs, and all the scenes and action and comedy. If this is your first breakdown, you're curious to know how the rating system was, there's a detailed description down below, along my other videos, which also have the description down below in my playlist. Dan Swampy, John Copeland, Jim Bernstein, Joshua Pewitt, Kate Condell, Jeffrey M. Howard, and Bob Bowen wrote this movie, Candace Against the Universe, premiered on August the 28th, 2020 on Disney+. Phineas and Ferb set out on the planet Phoebolot in the Florblock cluster to rescue Candace. However, Candace becomes tempted to stay when she becomes respected by its people, not knowing that they harbor a dark secret which involves her presence. Candace is riding her bike, and we all thought it's gonna be a normal episode. You are wrong. The first act was done by Urim Animation and it has thicker outlines, albeit inconsistent, and overall stiff character animation with zero flow in the mind, as I saw a tweet right there. And I kinda agree, which some people will be putting off with it as you get to see Candace's eye. And there are many people complaining about season 5 animation of Snipple, but overall it's kinda not bad, but there are some that can be off-putting, but take your pick. The song is called Such a Beautiful Day, sung by none other than Candace in the opening scene, as Curly Kirkpatrick actually wrote the song as well, who's friends with Dan Provera, by the way. You can see Candace's hair blow off with the wind as she's riding a bike. There's the same band that song It's a Perfect Day from season 2. I'm surprised she didn't fall off even though she doesn't have her hands in the pedal. Despite Urim's animation kinda being stiff in this part, but I do prefer the thicker outlines there than season 5. Nators in this movie, but I'm not gonna count it as I'm gonna wait until we count in the end. And evenly matched, didn't you try to be a platypus in Doofapus?
Our vacuuminator.
Mayor Roger does have a city hall, but he never mentioned that he had a mansion right there.
Power vacuum for me to fancy the verb and an abstract concept.
I love the soundtrack of the background as Perry the Platypus' theme song actually becomes an orchestra. You can find it on YouTube. Type Candace Against the Universe OST. A giant robot clown covers in that pink purple aura as it becomes dust as you get to see it. That's very cool.
You guys are finally busted.
What is it?
It's
Man, look at that pose that Candace is on as Candace trying to show her mom something.
I see what you did there. You used vacuum as a noun.
there. It's still there. Look, look, look.
This is the closest where Candace trying to bust her brothers, but the inevitable we see is Linda is clueless.
Yeah, you call and tell me, Fittig, unbelievable thing. I come home to find nothing there. Look, there's nothing here.
Linda's being oblivious again, and now this is where I finally will talk about the Flynn side oblivious. Not just her, Phineas and Candace too. She was always oblivious when she doesn't turn around or see the invention. She came close many times, but she is so clueless in every department, which is why Phineas and Ferb getting away with it. Not just Linda, with Candace with Jeremy at times, as she is always oblivious that does she love him or not, as she always does, as we see it many times. Not just these two, Phineas Flynn as well, as every time Candace tried to bust him, Phineas doesn't do anything to stop it. And not just that, Isabella as well. Every time Isabella trying to get the hint, Phineas just doesn't pay attention. And we see evident why they don't get together for 10 years, but that will be a topic for another day. While the Fletcher side gets the hint straight away, Arthur and Lawrence.
That was fun.
And Alice is not using her high-pitched voice as her normal voice. That is what Isabella should have sounded like in season 4.
That was fun.
Taste it like lint.
Why were you tasting it? It's not fair.
Candace always gets upset, angry, or crazy when the invention disappears, but she's actually pretty distraught. She's seen it every single time, and Phineas and Ferb gets away with it. I kind of understand her character as it's mostly focused around her.
I said it's not fair. Always works out for you. A great summer.
In Candace's perspective, her clash out is very valid because every time, it's just like every time. But Candace, you were having a great summer every time you've been around Phineas and Ferb, so yeah.
Every day I get beaten down by the universe.
Look at Phineas and Ferb, they're colored in shadow while Candace is not, which is strange.
I feel so alone.
Phineas and Ferb doesn't understand it because Phineas is oblivious and doesn't know why, but in the evidence, Candace is having a bad day, and we've seen that she had crash out multiple times, but it's mostly focused on her.
I just assumed Candace had been too.
This is not how you do front face Phineas, yeah man.
Something to cheer her up, make her a gift.
I wish Phineas can be way more specific than that, but okay.
Facing a Mount Rushmore.
And that was in Candace's birthday in season 1. They do have enough backup plans to find a way.
Can't ask you to go.
Our sister. She was pretty upset the last time we saw her.
Gonna feel like somehow it's our fault.
I remember there was an interview one time that Phineas was supposed to be angry, but sadly that didn't happen like the first dimension. But it makes sense.
Ones who have to make this right. This isn't on you.
You think you're going to an alien planet without us?
Even crazier than Candace.
And that's pretty true. Phineas and Ferb will find a way regardless, but Buford is right. They cannot do it alone, as they do need the gang to do it together. That's what makes a great family of dynamic of them.
As puppies.
For Candace!
I love how they put their hands together as they form a team to find Candace. That shows you the gang's growth.
Ready?
They go into the pool, get to see the blue waves are going, as you get to see the green folds in as it goes into the blue circle as they come in.
Hello and welcome, alien.
They teleport to Doofus Evil Incorporated instead.
Harmless.
Not the aliens. You're the alien.
I really love the background booties in this movie, designed well, just like in season 4 and season 5 as well.
But what's with your neck?
I know there's memories got erased in the Second Dimension movie, but in Bully Bromance, Buford saw Doofus as they hang around each other before Buford left. So did Buford recognize Doofus? Come on.
Calculations could not have been that off.
Oh, I like this side of the building of the background, looks solid.
To the planet Fiblaut in the
The Verblock cluster.
Verbot cluster, I can pronounce it better than Doofus. Looks like his future son-in-law knows better. To be honest, that joke really grown on me since I rewatched it, but it's funny.
disturbing.
We
I was apparently abducted by an alien pod from there.
That's Vanessa. We know her.
That feeling you get when you're being abducted by an alien space pod, totally freaking out. And yes, Phineas knows Vanessa since Summer belongs to you.
I hope my little girl is okay.
An ion barrier around the planet.
It means to prevent movements of ions. I did my research right there, but I don't know much about it.
Connect to each other.
Astrologically impossible. I mean, astrologically. Here, look at my horoscope.
And I really like how Doofus is talking to the gang, even though their memories got erased from the second dimension, but fully this time. Looks like you need to build a spaceship or something to counter that.
We need to build a spaceship. Anyone has one lying around.
Spaceship per se. My galactic travelator.
And Doofus does mention it again in Drugenfest, which he is right, even though he's kind of be annoyed to Isabel, which is funny. Let's hope it doesn't have a self-destruct button like every Anator.
Up to, and I guess more to the point, through.
You mean like a spaceship? Well, it's like a spaceship in that it operates like and performs the exact same functions as a spaceship.
It's an Anator. There's a difference.
And that's the first time Isabella's talking to Doofus. They did meet in the Shea Platypus episode, but that was when Doofus was having a dinner reservation. That's it. But this is the first time we're gonna have more.
Semantic.
It's branding. Leave me alone.
TikTok.
Can you imagine his cover was blown again for the second movie in a row?
What is this?
My chicken replacinator.
And that's the second time he made a chicken replacing it, as the original one looks bigger compared to this one with the yellow one, with the chicken side and all that, which I prefer, but I like both of them, which is good. If I do the movie count in the end, I'm not going to count that because you can't be using the same thing twice.
Thing we're gonna need? A device that makes things switch places with the nearest chicken.
Need one and not have it.
With him on that.
I kind of agree. Once you bring stuff that you don't need and you need it for something that you in danger, use it.
I'm bringing a canoe into space.
Isabella, really, it's kind of funny she asks that.
Anything about space?
Says the guy who been to the moon farm with Isabella and the gang. I really like how Beaver trying to fit the canoe in is funny. And look at Ferb and Baljeet bring stuff.
Okay, that does complicate things quite a bit. Host family, but reveal yourself as their pet to Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Major Monogram has a point. We've seen evident in the second dimension where Phineas and Ferb introduced Perry the Platypus as a mindless pet towards Doofus, and we all know what happened.
The worst agent we could have sent on this mission.
If this was a larger asteroid, how would Perry dodge that? He has a giant grappling hook with the size of it. Look at it. It looks good. Well, the 4th of July takes place during the summer, but we actually don't see it. I like how they use a creative way for Perry the Platypus to do something in this movie. Very creative.
Somehow we're missing all the asteroids.
This is another close call for the second time in this movie. How would Perry the Platypus used in the third movie? Let me know in the comments down below.
Hey, we're out of the asteroid.
Well, that was...
Harry the Platypus may be Phineas and Ferb's owners, but he's such a guardian angel no matter what.
Vanessa made it through just as well.
Does not look like Earth.
We don't see Vanessa fully, but I love the reflection as we see it with it.
Okay, ow.
Just like Candace, she hasn't fully escaped yet.
Yes, Candace should be coming.
See, this is how the facial expression works. Look at that scream that Olivia Olsen did as you see Vanessa's expression. It looks good. That's a better scream that Olivia Olsen did than Summer Belongs to You. Looks like the escape pods are empty as no one is in there.
You to the planet you're trying to escape from.
At least the only positive thing about Vanessa is she at least didn't get captured, unlike Candace, but it turns out to be different. This was one of the concept art we seen in the sneak peek, which before this movie came out.
Scary alien fortressy thing?
I really love the aesthetics inside of the room right here. Look at it. The patterns right there, the architectures on the side. It looks good. Aliens playing violin, surprise, surprise. The song's called Meet Our Leader, sung by Aaron Jacob and Elsie Powell, which is the first speaking role of the series, having their names been credited in the cast. Also, one of the songwriters is Kate Micucci, who voiced Sarah in Milo Murphy's Law, with the endings at the end of each stanza, which is false. Candace is still having a smartphone since the Great Balls of War in season 4. The choreography of the dance is done very well. This is the one scene that many people didn't like about this movie, is the floss. We've seen evident in the Inquisition where Gumball and Banana Joe did it. Well, in the Phineas and Ferb effect, we actually see Baljeet dabbing, which is strange. Audience see the fortress thing again, as Phineas thinks Candace having the worst day as she isn't.
Best day of my life. My toughest guard.
Candace and Super Duper Big Doctor is giving a good massage. Look how tough this guy is. He's a big brute.
Pressure's perfect, Mr. Fist.
The chosen one spoke to me.
Stamper Vis is voiced by none other than Wayne Brady, who comes back to do voice acting in this show again since the original run of season 4, and he co-wrote this song.
It actually explodes.
Glad that you Candace!
Once you hear someone say Candace, it explodes in your face, as we saw Super Duper Big Doctor's minions done that.
Candace stole over me.
Don't worry, he'll grow back.
But how long would that take? That's the question, but we don't get that answer.
Stapler Fist's leg.
It happens whenever they get excited. Birthdays here are a bloodbath.
True, go ask Isabella how she feels about her birthday, as she has a great day.
Relax.
Look at these two putting cool glasses. I really wanted to like the Super Duper Big Doctor, but she reveals herself. The song is called Girls' Day Out, sung by none other than Sarah Hudson in Candace Against the Universe, as Candace spends more time with the Super Duper Big Doctor, and it took them 2 hours while Dan Pomeroy was recording it. I'll show you evidence.
Wrote this song, Girls' Day Out. A friend of mine, Emmanuel Kiriakou, spectacular pop song.
Dan wanted a song that the two female characters could do together. He came up with the idea to have them doing these wacky things, keeping it a modern pop song. The lyrics were the song.
He was just building it on the computer while we were writing it. It was a finished recording at the end of 2 hours. We go and do a demo. We send it to Danny and he produces it. This was the fastest that had ever come together.
It's like cheap.
The songwriter who did this is Emmanuel Kiriakou. He is married to none other than Aliki Theophilopoulos, who used to work on Phineas and Ferb as the storyboard writers and a writer. Look at the green nail polish and Candace's hair. That is huge. And we see the montage of them hanging around, which is great, but we all know it isn't going to last. As the thunder strike, you get to see the lines of Candace and Super Duper Big Doctor with the white lines. I really like they're using the hologram of the mirror to see what Candace fits with the outfit. If it wasn't for Us Against the Universe, this would be my favourite song because of the vibe to it. It's nice to see Candace getting happy after what happened earlier. I wish the song was longer, but it's still a very good song regardless. Great job. Look at the inside of this one guy with 6 legs. Ooh.
click.
You in charge, young lady. I'm the grown-up.
True, you are an adult, but says the one who put self-destruct buttons in the first place.
Think I'm a natural leader.
We get to see the patch closely, like catching a fish, catching a bear, cut down a tree or something.
All these for being a leader?
Yep.
And this is the start of a Doofus Isabella rivalry, which is my favorite thing to come out of this movie, which leads to Drugenfest and hopefully more.
These?
Library card, and yes, I do.
I'm the adult, so step aside. Doofus in charge.
You may be smart on building a Natus Doofus, but you always mess up every time no matter what with other things.
Oh, you say you got a badge for leading people through a jungle.
Another top tier song in this movie is called Adulting, which is almost got cut in the movie, by the way, until the audience actually laughed, which is the reason why. You got a description of Stinky Foot, really? I really like the interaction between the two. It what makes it so funny. And we see closer in the medical letter, like statistics, vitals, as you get to see the letter, but not closely. It's weird to see Isabel without a bow, without her beret is showing. We did see her using a bow without the beret in Lord of the Fireside Girls, but not here, Candace, but you will find out soon.
We do, Candace. We made you a gift.
Isn't going to solve anything. I don't want it.
After seeing what Phineas and Ferb had done in the summer, Candace's action is justified, but I really feel bad for Phineas and Ferb trying to do anything. It's all about perspective.
She gets me, sees me, like the universe isn't against the thing, but you know, maybe guys aren't around.
I was really heartbroken when Candace said that, even though Phineas and Ferb has caused a lot of trouble with the inventions, but you can't lie, it's just that that's gone too far. It's like Phineas and Ferb try everything they can to make the best summer ever, to help you a lot, but you say things like this, it's like not helping at all.
Give her a little space.
I'm gonna take care of these guys. Brexington.
And we all thought she's gonna take care of it in a lovely manner until something bad will happen.
Follow me. I'll take you to your accommodation.
Brexington is voiced by none other than Brock Powell, who you know for doing a lot of voices on Milo Murphy's Law.
Candace?
That's one of the most heartbreaking scenes since Candace had the meltdown earlier, and that won't be the law. And we did had that before with Perry revealing himself to a secret agent as Phineas crashed out in the first movie. I wonder how the third movie is gonna be with the heartbreaking moments with that. I look at Candace's face, she looks like she's about to regret it.
I believe Candace. Sometimes she seems kind of
Obsessive?
Volatile?
enchanting.
And Beefy still have romantic interest with Candace. We see evident in the Candace suit. And Isabella describes obsessive, even though you were looking for relationship advice from her about your crush Phineas Flynn.
Gonna say unhappy. Dear, how unhappy she's been.
Look at the food to the side, the chairs, and all the place with the architecture with the panels. It looks so gorgeous, but it turns out to be baked.
From that horrifying jungle.
When I first watched this, I was thinking I knew this was gonna happen, and we all know why.
Where's my canoe?
That is a big truck as they head into prison as the aliens are driving it. And look at the cannon, the guy at the top to scout ahead.
Hi there.
We're going to prison.
His name is Borforce, and he's voiced by none other than Dietrich Bader, who you know for voicing Albert Vance Ward in this show, and you know for doing Milo's dad for Milo Murphy's Law.
Super big doofus, the river.
All my patches.
Oh, here we go again with Doofus and Isabel arguing.
I'm leading. We probably wouldn't be in this mess in the first place.
Says the one who tries to find his daughter in this planet as she is still here, so shut up.
Do you see this bag? Pray you never find out what it's for.
Isabella is 10 or 11 and she's threatening Doofus, who is 47. That is mad because she has the guts. Friendly reminder, she did her Hapkido, Jutsu and her karate fight in the patches that Phineas mentioned in Night of the Living Pharmacist, so you better watch out, Doof.
While I love ominous patch-related threats, apart from Ferb.
Well, in At Your Age, Doofus did become a teacher once again. Imagine he was teaching Isabella's class. That would be funny.
A feeling Candace is too.
Perry's has been hiding to prevent his cover's been blown, but this is his opportunity. I love the close-up design of the super duper big Doctor's fortress. Look at the architecture of the design of the fortress. It looks good. Say what you want about the same plot line as the Queen on Mars and all that, and it's the recycled plot from the second dimension, but the background of this room looks good. Blue wings, a chicken, a lot of stuff in the food. Even though it's an alien planet, I'll try it.
Thank you, Stapler Fist.
Does this butt make my torso look small?
Does this suit make my butt look big?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Chosen one is in the dining room.
Super duper big Doctor actually has a pet too.
Proud of you today.
I think I was, I don't know, a little too hard on my brother.
Well, you have been the whole summer in the original one, but she's starting to realize it.
Them messing up things for you? Trust me. With my brothers, everyone thought they were so special. I had to...
She was about to say throw them in the dungeon to reveal her true colors early, which would have made Candace angry, but she would know about it anyways.
Own place in the universe. We're doing right now. Some boring leadery stuff.
Leader stuff? She should know something isn't right until she knows.
Don't forget to breathe. A lot.
As we talked about earlier, they've been hypnotized by the plant thing, which super duper big Doctor call her mama.
You know where that pipe goes? Never mind.
He's been struggling to speak because he's been mind controlled by super duper big Doctor's plant.
It's no use.
The story starts off to the beginning. This is where the part starts to kick. Learn a lot about what carbon dioxide is as you inhale and exhale all of that.
What? All 7 billion of us?
She's right, around 2019 when it's produced, it's 7.7 billion. Now in 2026, it's 8.3 billion.
Special. If all you Earthlings exhale carbon dioxide, we'd mama forever.
That means she won't just use only one person for carbon dioxide, all of them to keep her spores growing so she can mind control everybody.
Hundreds of castles, movies, and hit TV shows. Central Monkey, fire up the ship. Never planet to conquer.
Looks like she's gonna conquer Earth. Looks like we've been in Earth in the beginning and now we're gonna go back there.
Portable CO2 generator. Her dummy. Been a heck of a day for you, huh?
Her plans may be evil, but not as evil doofus from the second dimension who wants to take over the tri-state era with robots.
And threw your whole planet under the bus. Going, sister.
Now that Candace is starting to regret, she fall for the bait and she realized super duper big Doctor was acting very nice until that moment. Man, we seen that all the time.
Chosen one.
The guy who's controlling the tremor is Toilet File, and he's voiced by Bob Bowen, who voiced Trucker Ted, as you recognize his voice.
Emergency is, those darn riders are going with the crashed truck bit again.
Do you know how to control the tremor because you're using the buttons wrong?
You've done this before. Yes, I've done this before.
It makes it very funny, but you are so bad at controlling it's unbelievable.
I've done this before. Trolls are stupid. I'm not stupid.
In the left of the spear, you get to see something popping in and out, which is a noticeable thing. Animation error?
Wait, what am I hearing?
I think it's music, man. Marching into war, this is a battle song.
And that is what the song is called, as it's one of the shortest songs for Candace Against the Universe, and it's the last for a while once we get towards the end. It looks like they're preparing for the battle, but it's a diversion. They have a battle drum with a sword made out of wood and sticks.
They're telling us their plan is over to the right.
It turned out their strategy works as they're fooling them. She looks at him and said, "Why are you singing about this? Stop him. How about you go down and check all garden to make sure they don't have a chance?" They told the super duper big Doctor the strategy and it worked.
Lied to us. Throw soft people through sincerity of emotion.
Well, true, but you kind of hold Candace captured, which is the reason why.
We are the cowards.
They have blasters and they're running away. Bun-Face Phineas, haven't seen that in a while. Tried that a couple of times, but we don't see it.
Wait, there she is! Candace!
Stop shouting and go and get her and rescue her.
Activate anti-coward countermeasures.
And that's why they're called cowards, because they're scared of anything. If that was meat species, they would have got there straight away.
Oh, it's Vanessa. She's not back on Earth.
Then why she didn't text straight away while she getting chased? Still stuck here. Hashtag building makes weird tones.
Hey, Vanessa, you guys go. Go now while you still can.
And Doofus will find a way even though he had the chicken replacer.
Hey, adulting.
Oh, Doofus must never change, man.
I learned from the best.
It's a getting back to Earth patch. Earn it!
Oh, he will. Even though Isabel appreciate him now, there's still rivalries no matter what. We seen Drugenfest. They should have done that earlier. That would have chased him and captured him, but obviously they can't leave their planet. We didn't get much of Finnabella breadcrumb in this movie, even though we don't need to, but we see them grabbing their hand of each other. Poor alien elephant thing, he's still in orbit. Passes, Doofus must even incorporate his building, is still on fire.
It's happening back on Earth.
They don't know as they're still stranded here, but you will soon when you take part. And this is the game that Stacy mentioned earlier, as you get to see the station. And there's the WJOP antenna again. I love how you can see the branding closely. Mozilla Pie, Corner Cafe, Ducky Momo, Lake Nose like the Lake Nose Monster, Super Duper Megastore we've seen before, and Love Handle. The guy who's selling the free t-shirt is none other than Weird Al Yankovic, who does the voice. I was super excited that Milo Murphy was going to be in this movie, but it was cut due to timing and pacing reasons, which is a bummer, but at least they have Weird Al in this movie. But imagine Milo Murphy's law with the timing and pacing, it would have been done. I would have been stoked right here. It's a surprise to see Roger Doofusmas here. Visitors versus the Nashville, what is called Victory Gum, a lot of new Tiny Cowboy, Totally Too, Food Stuff, and whatever with the branding. There's Jenny, Stacy, and Coltrane, and look who's behind Coltrane, Stacy's mom. Looks like Stacy's mom's got going. Friendly reminder if people haven't watched Phineas and Ferb, he's the founder of the Tri-State area. With his design. The watermelon gag has appeared again since the second dimension, the world collide, the Star Wars, which I did in the previous video, and now this again.
We got it.
Looks like everyone's breathing while running away, and if it continues, the plant will grow while more spores will spread around the Tri-State area.
Grow, baby, grow.
And there's Slushy Dog, and it's good to see Jeremy again, and there's Stacy running as she's going to approach Jeremy.
Alien invasion?
Dude, they're outside the window, just go and look.
Ferb, I gotta get on that ship and get to Candace.
They are patrolling everywhere, so you gotta time it. And front face Phineas.
Go for it. We'll run interference.
You freak boys.
The Wilhelm scream. Dan explains it why he put it in.
Movie since this old Western that it was originally used in. Used over and over and over again. It started becoming an inside joke in the industry. Daughter Melissa saw this video about it and became obsessed. So, of course, I put it in the movie. In the came on TV, she got so excited.
Wilhelm!
Proud papa moment that she got a joke that was so obscure, most people wouldn't even recognize it as a joke. If you can find the Wilhelm scream in Candace Against the Universe.
Well, I already did, Dan, and that's where beef is. But I really don't care about this part. Look, she's doing a back dive like in Call of Duty Black Ops 8, while this movie came up before it. Gone back to his normal size like a brute and got destroyed easily. She is going ham. Candace is badass. That's a reference to Oprah Winfrey's meme as she said, "You get something, you get something."
What about her?
Oh no!
This happened in many movies. Once the hero and the villain will get their trial, they either run out of bullets or this.
Really big enough.
As the plant from the super dealer doctor is growing, you get to see it emerges as it spins around while trying to create spore. This is good animated. Iconic, this movie came out in 2020 while everyone wearing masks during the pandemic in 2020. The plant is releasing more spores. Doofus's ex-girlfriend Elizabeth is out of the dolphin? What are you doing here?
Here, Stacy, put this on.
I really love that Jeremy and Stacy prepared even though they were in V-Blue.
Jeremy!
Jeremy, is this cosplay? Are you live action role playing?
Look at the axe, the sword, the helmet, and a lot of stuff that he has in Hisashi Dog.
You're going out LARPing, aren't you? Dressing up as knights and elves?
Please don't tell Candace.
Oh, you will once we get to Dungeons and Dating, which I already did a breakdown, which you can find on YouTube.
Here, Lancelot.
Working! Sit down! That's those kids!
This is very similar to the first movie, but Duffer had robots to try to take over the Tri-State era, while Super Duper Big Doctor wants it for different reasons. You can see in the right, Thunderous and Thor has been hypnotized, as well as Coltrane. Stacy's gonna be pissed. Lacey as well, who's been hypnotized again, just like in Night of the Living Pharmacist in before. And Johnny as well, and Billy Buxton. Oh, I forgot, Rusty Bridges has been hypnotized too. They captured him, but they let him go. But she's aiming at them.
Have a little talk. Disappointed in you, candy corn.
And it's smart not to call her Candace because you know what happened with these aliens.
2 girls against the universe, and you threw it away.
No, because you put your brothers in the dungeon and you took it too far, while Candace wouldn't, and she knows her perspective of her brothers being annoying, but she loves her brothers no matter what.
Should reconsider your relationship with your brothers too.
Vanessa gave her that talk earlier, and now it's Candace's turn to do the same to the Super Duper Big Doctor. What comes around goes around.
Just possible that this obsession you have with controlling your brothers is really just a distraction from your real problem. Feel about yourself?
Super Duper Big Doctor is starting to realize it as Candace gave her a talk, which is the same earlier, so this could be a redemption, but...
Meaningless speck in the universe?
It's good, keep going.
Obsession with busting them is distraction from your real problem you feel about yourself.
Tiny meaningless speck in the universe?
That's good, keep going.
I always thought my brothers were so special. Paid attention to me at all. Trolling everybody else. It's just been about my own self-worth. What? A breakthrough.
She's having a breakthrough like Candace had with earlier with Vanessa before she got in that pod.
Everybody thinks my brothers are so special. What if I'm not? Can't believe this.
It's kind of a breakthrough, right?
Listen to me!
How about you look behind first before you stop them from controlling them?
I'm confused. To control you anymore. I am enough.
Looks like the plant has become scary and monstery once the carbon dioxide feeds it more. She was close to having the redemption arc, and then this happens, but she does end up getting arrested in the end. He's releasing more spores. Vocal to the fucking rescue.
Get on, Face Dragon?
This is the second time the gang crossed paths with Duffer since the second dimension. Phineas and Ferb for the 3rd time with Duffer since Night of the Living Fathers, the 6th time for Candace with Duffer, and that won't be the last one we get to the last day of summer. 3rd time with Buffer and Duffer since Bully Bromance breakup. 3rd time with Isabel and Duffer as well. Also the 3rd time with Isabel and Duffer, and that won't be the last when we get to Drugan Fest, we already did, and Baljeet Duffer for the 1st time. This is the 10th time that Vanessa and Candace cross paths, as it's the 7th time in the chronological order, while this movie makes it 8. This is before the last day of summer, which make it 9, but that will be in the next video.
Disturbing.
And that's the 3rd time Phineas and Ferb said something fast more than seconds, and someone said that's disturbing.
The good old chicken replacinator.
We haven't seen Goltopus this much in this movie, but it's okay, it's not focused around him. That's what happens when you have a backup switch, and if they didn't, can you imagine though?
I think we lost him.
And they're stuck inside the antenna of the WJOP, which we saw earlier. And it's good for Perry to let go because he's stuck in the sticky witch situation that his cover would have been blown again, so that's why. And I love you can hear Perry the Platypus's theme song as the orchestra again, just like earlier. Such an iconic theme song. He has 2 grappling hooks. Perry the Platypus is very prepared for this. Perry the Platypus can grapple a sign and a water tank to pull to make sure the antenna doesn't fall and destroy it. This is like the train scene from when Spider-Man tried to pull, except the fact Perry the Platypus doing it with the grappling hook, and he's much stronger than that. So Perry the Platypus is stronger than Spider-Man, confirmed.
Whoa, hey, Candace!
And that's the first time in the movie Jeremy interacts with Candace, even though we haven't got Candace very much. At least it says that. Mama is huge. Look at the spores he's sucking to everything in Danville. Fuck.
Still a chicken on that planet? If we do not stop that, cover me! About to switch places with a chicken.
The movie focuses around Candace since the beginning of it, and now she's gonna be a part to save the day. I'm glad it happened. She is covered in the shadow with the chicken replacing it, it's not. But it's such a cool shot. It's not over there because it's still here, so you have to set it for the furthest chicken away. Rest of the animals run away, and there's that llama from the llama incident. I don't know what the llama's doing in the pet zoo.
My petition won!
Get it to the furthest chicken.
Reason why Mama is still here is because she set it to the nearest chicken. Now she needs to set it to the furthest chicken to send it away. Mama has gone further away as the spores has gone. Looks like Candace has saved the world. And that won't be the last time once we get to the last day summer with the looping repeating.
The spores are gone!
Looks like Mama and the super duper big doctor inside of it are about to feeble. And Mama has run out of carbon dioxide, shrinking it back to normal, even though it's still dry. And the elephant creature that's flown around orbit since the beginning has destroyed it. Well done.
Never mind.
And it's a nice conclusion after what the super duper big doctor done to this planet by hypnotizing people. She got what she deserved. This is a similar arrest that Doofenshmirtz from the second version got towards the end. The one conclusion we didn't have in this movie is super duper big doctor's brother been locked up in the dungeon. Are there three? I don't know.
Used to feel alone.
The song is called Us Against the Universe. Easily the best song out of the movie. There's a lot of great songs like Adulting, Girls Day Out and all of that. But this song tops the lot. Candace is not crazy for telling the truth, but Phineas and Ferb always be on her side no matter what. And I love everyone is joining in with Candace, Phineas and Ferb, even though they did take part 2. That's the only song that Hines and Vanessa Doofenshmirtz sing the song with a duo together. This screenshot is so iconic. Look at them dancing with each other, pointing. This is so iconic. And it's also done by Snipper Animation, the same animation that did Season 5. And it did a very good job. I really love they have each other's backs. Look at Ferb and Isabella back to back with each other. This is a shippers for Ferbella fans. The dancing of the choreography song is done very well. This is reference to George Washington crossing the Delaware, which is in 1851. Look at Perry dancing under the boat. I spot a front face Phineas. Make that 2 because I just spoiled again. Another front face, and we see, look at that billboard, Ducky Momo the movie. Another one, and another one. Us one, universe nil. That's the best way to put it in this movie. This is the image I used for the first breakdown video I did, as we're closing in the end. I can't keep it all because of copyright, but the song's a straight up banger. There's the Fireside Girls, Stacy, Django, and Irvin, who was supposed to be in one scene which got cut, but I split it in the final thoughts.
That was awesome.
Same thing, Buford, same thing. I agree. Friends are also family. Looks like Vin Diesel is right. Hey, we got a Buford and Baljeet bread come together. Nice. It's supposed to be guys instead of folk, which changed it, and it's breaking the fourth wall. And there's the recurring Raku in Milo Murphy's Law, which is actually his first appearance in chronological order, and also his last appearance if you watch Milo Murphy's Law first. I love that everyone's dancing and singing. Great stuff. You can see in the left there's 2 Addisons and 2 Millie, which is an animation error. They're heading to prison and jail, and their bodies do grow back, so what they're gonna do with it? And there's the logo of the tile again, Candace against the universe. The tile of the text calls sans serif, which is the same title font that was used in Milo Murphy's Law in the end credits. Look at the credits, they got Emo Phillips and Bill Farmer who voiced Goofy. And there is Ashley Michelle Simpson in the credits again, just like in At Your Age.
Always egg on my face.
I do prefer the end credits for the second dimension layout more. It's such a shame that Universe Against Me was cut. And you see in the credits, Serenity Animation did do the second act and the rest of it too, except Us Against the Universe. Yeah, in production for the first act of Phineas and Ferb the movie. I like Baby We're Back, but I do prefer Kick It Up a notch more because it had Slash. I forgot Kate Micucci wrote 2 songs. I do prefer the second dimension more, but this movie had a lot of charm to it and deserves a lot of appreciation. What a throwback. This was released around 2020 during the pandemic and nearly 6 years to the day when it came out in August. I still remember the songs and all the scenes that were great. I really enjoyed breaking down the movie, but this is where I have to be unbiased. And the plot will start off with a 3. As much as I love the movie, let's start off with the negative, with the plot being similar to the Queen of Mars from Unfair Science Fair, which is a reason why many people didn't prefer this movie over the second dimension. Then I realized now that the plot is very similar to the second dimension, except we are headed towards an alien planet instead of another dimension, which is the reason why I take points away. The positive is that Candace had a beautiful day until Phineas and Ferb's invention disappear again as usual. Vanessa and Candace have a talk about her busting becoming an obsession while they went on in the pod in the spaceship while Vanessa escaped to Fever Root while Candace was heading the same way but to meet up with Super Duper Big Doctor as there was being towards a sister while Phineas, Ferb, Doof and the gang go in there in the spaceship together to rescue Vanessa and Candace while they got captured by Super Duper Big Doctor's minions and sent to prison with Garnox and Barfos hiding in a secret place where hiding from Super Duper Big Doctor and her army. It turned out she took over Ferb and mind controlled them with Mama using carbon dioxide with her planet to grow stronger until it ran out. She needed Candace to use her carbon dioxide so that she could take over Earth and the tri-state area. Phineas and Ferb and the gang go to the stadium to stop her with a distraction and allow Phineas and Ferb to rescue Candace inside the ship while she felt horrible for the things she said to her brothers earlier, and they gave her a mug for all the things she's done, which motivated her to defeat her minions. But Mama grew while eating Super Duper Big Doctor while Doofer and Vanessa returning to Earth with Volkul to rescuing them in a chase with Mama until Candace uses the chicken replacer to go to the furthest chicken to send back to Ferberot, with the elephant creature destroying it and arresting Super Duper Big Doctor in the process, which Candace deserves a lot of the spotlight for her victory after all she's been through. Characterization will get a 5. Let's start with the other characters. Buford and Baljeet are the same consistent characters since day one. Buford's carrying with the canoe playing his part, which is the reason why they're still alive. Baljeet playing smart once again about the space adventure, even though it's not real life. They're both very good, and it's nice to see Stacy and Jerry taking the initiative towards the end of the gang helping defeat Mama, allowing Candace to use the chicken replacer. Roger, Linda and the other characters are there, and not for me as there is nothing to talk about them. It's nice to see Vanessa again while she is being the voice of reason to Candace about her obsession with busting, which can overtake her life, which Candace started to realize that later as they both were in the pod. Candace is messing around with Vanessa telling her to focus while escaping, which her always been her character. Vanessa did escape but into Ferblot, but she got attacked by a dragon creature while petting it for a while, and it rescued her dad and Perry from falling while doing the same thing with Phineas and the guy while they head back to Earth. Vanessa played her part in her role, which is the reason why Candace's characterization is done very well in this movie. Doofenshmirtz was taking part as well, and he was funny and took part of building a space engineer to find his daughter Vanessa. The interaction of Doofenshmirtz and Isabella is funny with adulting and dancing, which makes it very interesting. Isabella threatens Doofenshmirtz about the patch, and we are going to see more interaction in Jugendfest, and I love that Isabella gives him the patch in the end, which he made full of it by coming with Vanessa and Perry with the chicken replacer and took part in helping Candace using the chicken replacer to send Mama back to another planet. I love that Doofenshmirtz and Vanessa are singing with each other in the end. Perry was being a guardian angel by protecting his owners from asteroids and alien guards while saving his nemesis. He also uses 2 grappling hooks to pull themselves into safety from being crushed. Perry played his part too. Phineas and Ferb really care about their sister even though they upset her because they keep getting away with it. Ferb found Phoebelot as they built a portal to find their sister until it was Doofenshmirtz as they went into space of Ferbot. They did find their sister in the fortress until Candace said many harsh words that were justified for her but very hurtful. Arnos and Bertha helped them get to Caldania, realizing that Super Duper Big Doctor is evil and she wants to take over the planet with plants to use carbon dioxide to grow spores and to go on Earth to rescue their sister by going into the stadium and into the spaceship again. They found Candace, but she admitted that she had said many bad things to her brother and she felt horrible. Phineas and Ferb gave her a coffee mug and she pressed the button with all the memories that she did all over the summer. Phineas and Ferb loved their sister knowing she rocks and they choose her every time, which is heartwarming. To top it all off, they sing the song together with Us Against the Universe. Let's talk about Candace. She was singing early until the invention disappeared again, which causes her to crash out until Vanessa started to reason with her obsession about busting it, which is her problem as she started to have a breakthrough. She got into the pod while she was messing around with buttons while getting captured by aliens, which turned up to be Super Duper Big Doctor's minions and her. She and Candace were spending time with each other in a lot of scenes that Candace could relate to. She saw that Phineas and Ferb were trying to rescue her, but she was not happy with her brother while she sided with Super Duper Big Doctor until she found out that Mama was trying to use carbon dioxide and use Candace as a treadmill to produce it while it headed to Earth within the stadium. Candace breaks free and is found by Phineas and Ferb while is upset that she said horrible things and started to say that she cares about her brothers with the coffee mug and that they gave to her. Candace started to appreciate her brothers more while she shoots with t-shirts by destroying the aliens' faces, while reasoning Super Duper Big Doctor to change her motivation about her brothers until she got eaten by Mama, with Candace using the chicken replacer with the furthest chicken away from Mama back to her planet with the Super Duper Big Doctor. Even though her motivations is interesting, not quite as much as Mitch, Rodney and Doof D2. Candace stops her mom from busting her brothers because she started to appreciate a lot from her brothers today, from the perspective, and they sing the song which is heartwarming. The characterization of her focus is done very well, and it's well written. Visuals, it's a 5. They are more good than bad. Yurim Animation did a good job with the line characters, did it better than season 5, even though some of them look like PNG. but some parts look stiff until the next part, which is in the planet, which animated by Serenity Animation, which knows how to do animated scenes very well, mostly in season 4. The planet design was good, the creatures and the aliens were also good, and the animation was top notch in many scenes, heartwarming moments and many, but there have been many animation errors with the lines of the character because of lockdown in 2020, but it handled well in many aspects, which I can appreciate. Also, the song was done great, including Us Against the Universe by Snipper Animation, animated this scene and it delivered. Importance, it's a 0, but if I did a breakdown in 2020 to 2024 before the season 5 revival was announced or it never happened, that would be my rating. Don't forget, Phineas and Ferb ended in 2030 while it came out in 2020. It's more of a fun adventure, and it also gained new viewers that never watched the show, which could be the reason why a new generation of Phineas and Ferb fans would watch the whole series. But it's changed to a 5 because of season 5 and season 6 soon, with Jeremy's LARPing, space adventures, and mostly of Doofus and Isabella beefing with each other, which is the reason why it will get points. Entertainment is a 5. Just watch the whole film, you're gonna have a great ride, a great adventures, the song was good, a lot of action, a lot of comedies to keep you engaged, and a lot of fun. Total score is 23 out of 25. The plot could have been way higher if it wasn't for the Queen of Mars and some aspects that were used from the second dimension, which is very similar. I love this movie, but I have to be biased to show you what it is as trying to raise the standard for the breakdown. This movie was a rewatch, and I recommend you go back and rewatch it before watching season 5. A lot of emotional moments, characterizations done well, a lot of action, songs, comedy, and the layouts was done very well, and I can applaud that for that. The vocalist Elsie Powell has confirmed for the first time in 30 years in the history of Phineas and Ferb has received an on-screen credit for their performance. Happy for her. Candace Against the Universe trailer came out in August the 5th, 2020, which is also the same day that the Second Dimension movie came out in 2011. There are some deleted scenes of Candace Against the Universe, which you can find. I'll put in the link down below, which is the channel called The Third Dimension, none other than Jonathan. There were 2 songs that were cut, The Universe is Against Me and also Stepping into the Great Unknown. And this is Universe is Against Me, as it's animatic, as it's not fully coloured. I'll put in the link down below to show you the full scene of it, and it is pretty good. The song is a banger. Also, Stepping into the Great Unknown is also animatic, which you can find on YouTube, and I'll show it here for some of it. And I wish this was in the movie, but sadly it got cut. It would have been one of my favourite songs in Candace Against the Universe, along with Us Against the Universe. This is very well animated, and I recommend you watch it, as I put in another link down below in my YouTube description. There's a letter of Lil Nas that he promised in 2009 about the Blu-ray copy of Season 3 of Phineas and Ferb, as they found a Free Sagging t-shirt plus limited posters that has Trio's Lil Nas X, as not only signed by Nas, is also Dan Pover and Swampy Marsh, and also you can win prizes, DVD and stuff back in the day. As we saw in the breakdown, Jeremy does get some voice lines in this movie.
Whoa, hey, Candace!
This was the last time that Mitchell Musso will ever voice Jeremy, because after what happened in 2023, he got recasted. I asked the potter of, do you think Stacy and Jeremy should appear in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back? 97% said yes, as 3% said no. And if they do include it in The Empire Strikes Back with the Phineas and Ferb crossover, I hope they play part in the Resistance or part of the Empire, which could play a huge part of it, which would be great. The movie is completed. Next stop, back to the original one, but this time the series finale of Phineas and Ferb, which is the summer finale, the last day of summer. Musical clips that count down, the 4th episode that takes place in the post-summer era, Alka Files, and of course, At Your Age. I will try to upload many posts as I can in the community tab when it goes live, but until then, hope you have a fantastic day. As always, see ya.